Thanks for coming tonight. Let's call the meeting to order. We're going to rise for the flag salute, please. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Marosky, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Kozer is absent. Dr. Laughlin? Here. Mrs. Maines? Here. Mr. McConnell is absent. Merle D. Music? Absent. Merle L. Music? Absent. Mr. Rupko?
Here.
Mr. Hauser is absent. And Dr. Zorich?
Here. Since this is not a voting meeting, we still can conduct our business tonight. We don't have to have a quorum, so we're okay to keep going. Mr. Naples, would you like to talk about the executive session, please?
Yes, we had an executive session beginning at 6:30 tonight. Among the matters discussed was legal matters. We discussed 3 separate tax assessment appeals. And then under personnel, we discussed a personnel matter that's on tonight's agenda for discussion. And finally, under negotiations, we discussed negotiations with a collective bargaining unit of the school district.
Thank you. Would you have any solicitors report tonight?
No report. I just want to note, we have 4 members here, but as this is not a voting meeting and we don't have anything on the schedule, as you said, Dr. Zorich, this is an informational meeting tonight, so we'll continue with it.
Thank you. Education and planning, Mrs. Maines.
Thank you very much. We'll begin with the new students with the student report, Alexis and Natalie.
Good evening. I'll be reporting on what's been occurring in the senior high school and junior high. In the senior high, 3 seniors, Sarah Rozeski, Awesome Ann, and Sam Kiesel, earned the National Merit Scholarships Letter of Commendation status this school year. There are among less than 50,000 students nationwide to earn this honor. Regarding athletics, multiple individuals and fall sports teams have either qualified for their respective sports playoffs or are very close to doing so near the end of each regular season. During the football game on Friday, September 29th, approximately 30 Greater Latrobe Senior District alumni participated in the marching band opportunities there, joining over the 130 marching band members that evening. Additionally, there have been many career future readiness opportunities, such as on October 5th, the Girls in STEM opportunity at Continental allowed multiple girls taking the AP Physics course to learn more about STEM-related career fields. Mrs. Kaiser chaperoned the opportunity. On October 6th, multiple juniors and seniors toured the Arch Cutting Tools manufacturing facility for National Manufacturing Day, chaperoned by Mrs. Getter, Mrs. Byron, and Mr. Snyder. This Thursday, October 12th, all grade 11 students and grade 10 students who chose to sign up will participate in the PSAT test. Grade 10 students not participating will take the ASVAB test instead. On October 31st, there will be 2 assemblies during the school day. The first is the Challenge Program, and it will promote preparedness as well as citizenship among students during the last part of the school day. And the second is the Gala Art Show Preview Assembly. Additionally, on November 2nd, the annual art gala will be held at the Greater Latrobe Senior High School. In the junior high, new junior high elective class trips have been happening. In September, business classes went to tour in Invention Land. On October 2nd, engineering design students, with the help of Pleasant Unity and Youngstown Fire Departments, tested their designs by dropping them 10 stories from a fire truck. 6 of the winning teams were chosen to compete at West Virginia University's pumpkin drop competition. This Thursday, October 12th, flight and space students will be touring Latrobe Airport. And on October 26th, the Junior High Fall Festival will occur, including games, competitions, pie and face, etc., and this is hosted by the Web Leaders. This concludes my section of the report. I'll now pass it on to Nancy.
Alexis, you talked about, how many folks did you say alumni were in the marching band there for the homecoming parade? 30? I think you said 30?
Yeah.
Did you know that there was one non-alum from Greater Latrobe that snuck into the marching band that night?
I did not.
You didn't? Yeah, there was some beastly-looking man playing the drums in the drum line who might have gone to Derry back in the day, but he was in there too. And I just, what a fun time that was. to be with the marching band. It was neat to see parents who were in the marching band playing with their kids, and I thought that was really neat to have them have that experience. And whoever that guy was that's not getting, we'll make sure he doesn't get it next year.
For sure. Thank you. Hi everybody, so I'm going to go over the elementary part of the report. I'm going to first start with events that are happening through all 3 elementary schools in the month of October. On October 17th at 5:45 at Pier at the CSC will be the 6th grade camp information meeting for parents. Starting October 23rd to the 27th is Red Ribbon Spirit Week. I know this is a favorite. On October 27th is the Halloween parade and celebration for all 3 elementary schools. Then, actually for each part of the elementary school reports, each individual elementary school, there is some information on what 3rd grade has been specifically doing in the month of September and early October, so you'll get to hear a little bit about that as well. Starting October 2nd through the 13th is the Socktober Service Project, where they collect new women's and children's socks for the Welcome Home Shelter in Greensburg. On October 10th is Lathrop Elementary School's School Picture Day. On October 12th is the Wildcats Walk for Wellness. And October 18th, the fire department visits grades K through 2nd, as well as life skills at LES. And I thought this was pretty cool. The 3rd graders at LES participated in 3rd grade Dot Day. In SEL and STEM, they had a project where they read a story, then talked about character traits of the characters in the story, as well as lessons the characters learned in the stories. The 3rd graders then designed desks on paper with the team. They then created their desks for the characters in the story and had to test them out. Now this next part is pretty awesome. It's for Mountain View Elementary School. On their annual wellness walk on September 29th, the PTO successfully raised over $30,000. So that's awesome. 3rd graders at Mountain View participated in Pirate Day, where kids wore Pittsburgh Pirates or pirate-themed clothes while they practiced things like place value, addition, subtraction, writing, and grammar. They played games and did activities to practice all subject areas with a pirate theme. And finally, moving to Bagley, on October 9th and 10th, the fire department visits grades 1st and 2nd for fire prevention lessons. On October 20th, kindergarten was at Youngstown/Whitney Fire Station. Bagley's trunk or treat takes place on October 22nd. And October 30th through November 3rd is Community Spirit Week and the food drive. Then 3rd graders at Bagley have been participating in monthly reading challenges. And the overall goal of this is to get kids excited about reading. In September, their challenge was to complete tasks for the letters A through Z. For example, like reading under a tree for T, or read over a video to someone for V. And then in October, the kids are trying to read more minutes than their teachers. And students who do participate do get a treat, so I think that probably helps a little bit. Are there any questions? Okay, that concludes our student report. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, girls. Nice job. The next item on your agenda, Mike already talked about, and that's being rescheduled for November 14th.
Right.
The enrollment report, Mr. Nate.
Sure, the enrollment report's attached. If you have any questions, let me know.
I will let Mrs. Ellis introduce the new camp, 6th grade camp.
Yes, we have John Teslovich here with us this evening. This will be John's first year being the coordinator of our 6th grade camp. After Melissa Borio's retirement, John has stepped up to the plate to oversee 6th grade camp. So he is a 5th grade teacher at Bagley Elementary School, and he will be coordinating our 6th grade camp for now. And now get your presentation going.
Thank you.
How many years for 6th grade camp?
17, 17, a lot of times, early on, multiple times. Like early on when I started here, I went to camp with all 3 schools.
I know that's how many years you've been doing. How many years total for 6th grade?
In total, but I believe that we go back and forth, we're approaching 50.
We are approaching 50. And John is, I just want to say this, you're the 4th camp director in the history, which I think speaks to the steadiness of the program, the consistency of the program, the fact that we've only had 4 folks take this on, and I appreciate you stepping up to do this.
I
I know
appreciate
you've
the
been a
opportunity.
camp for 17 years with multiple groups, but thank you before you begin the presentation.
Well, thank you. And it's an all hands-on deck approach, like our truck drivers here in attendance. You know, we call Mr. Thomas a few times last year when we need things. Mr. Hyde provides the van. You know, so like I said, it's an all hands on deck, and we appreciate everything everybody does to keep sixth grade camp going the way that it does. Speaking of all hands on deck, this is a little slide. So I mentioned my wife in passing the other day, and she's like, "Oh, let me do something." In 15 minutes, she whipped this up from the other side of the living room and shared it with me, so I felt I had to bring it and share it with you. But these are just some of the things, just as you look at these pictures, these are just some of the activities in camp. If you look at the faces, you know, the smiles say it all. You know, that's what camp's all about. You know, the smiles on the face of counselors, not only our sixth graders, but the counselors and the experiences they get as they're helping our sixth graders in camp are priceless. Mrs. Pellis, as she introduced me, my name is John Teslovich. I'm a fifth grade teacher at Bagley Elementary School. And with Mrs. Borio is retiring, I'm assuming the responsibilities of sixth grade camp director. I've attended sixth grade camp for 17 years since I was hired with the district. I participated in many capacities. I was a group leader, I was a station leader, I was a photographer, I was a gopher. You know, I was Mrs. Borio's right-hand man, and for a handful of years, you know, I stepped in when the other principals would go to sixth grade camp. I assumed the responsibility as administrators back in my home front. So, is whatever I can do to help, I was willing and able to do so. As a new director of camp, I don't have any immediate plans to alter things. I'd like to just continue to keep camp as consistent as possible. Any initial changes we plan are going to occur in the areas of organization and just the logistics of how things run on a day-to-day basis. I did receive a grant at the end of last year, a foundation grant, and I'm currently purchasing storage containers just to kind of ease our storage and transportation issues, both at the stadium and then while we're up at Heritage. Our camp dates for this year are set for May 13th through the 22nd with specific dates I see here in the agenda. We did have to increase with discussion. We did agree to increase the cost of camp for up to $5, upping it $5 this year to kind of help offset some of the rising costs on heritages and other things. In the past, we charged $165 this year. We're going to bump it up to $170. Now, as I move forward in this role, what I would like to do down the road is look for opportunities to expand our curriculum some and seek to expand fundraising efforts on the home end of things, just to help some of that cost that we're continuing to incur on our students and our families. One last thing is Mr. Music is not here this evening, but I did want to personally thank him for his efforts. We talked about all hands on deck, and he comes up and he runs our rifle program for us at sixth grade camp. But what I would love to see, I'd like to personally invite each and every one of you to see the value of sixth grade camp. You know, come visit us. You know, Merle's not here, but I'll put him on deck. He'll be your tour guide. So we'll put it on him. But we can show you around. You know, we appreciate everything he does for us. We appreciate everything that you guys do in supporting us here on this end as well. But once again, I'd like to thank you for your support of sixth grade camp and look forward to moving sixth grade camp forward in my new role as director. I thank you.
John talked about inviting you all to camp. I would like to think that one of the reasons that Mr. Music goes to camp is because I threw that out once too, and he called me and he said, "Hey, I'll go up with you." I don't know if it was the ride up and back with me in the car, or whether it was camp, but he got booked. So if anyone's interested, I would be happy to take you up to camp for a day or for a few hours, whatever you can spare.
I have one question. The kids that can't afford camp,
Go to camp.
go to camp, and who generally pays for that?
PTOs.
The PTOs pay. How many kids is that impact? Do you have any idea?
They can still fundraise, right, John?
Yeah, each building fundraises. That's part of the discussion with the parents next week, or the fundraising opportunities. So each building will fundraise. I don't know firsthand like how many scholarships we handed out last year at Bagley or anything like that, but every year
Years
there.
ago at Mountain View, I would say like 2 or 3. I'm not sure if that's different, but I mean, it could be different by building, but
So I just want people to know that.
Everybody gets to go.
Everybody has
Wants
left
to
to
go.
go.
I think one of the things that we've prided ourselves on is honestly, the kids that do not go to camp, it's a choice, that they just don't want to go, and that's okay too. But it doesn't matter, your socioeconomic situation, you know, maybe you have a special need. We've accommodated everything that we can to go to camp, and I think it's important. It is really a capstone experience. I have a 6th grade son. He cannot wait to go to 6th grade camp because it's something that he has looked forward to throughout his elementary experience. And then, you know, the great thing is that we get the kids that go to 6th grade camp to come back as counselors in 11th and 12th grade, and they get to see it from that side.
And for the kids who want to go, my wife used to always say, when 6th grade cruise, I'll go.
It is not a cruise.
The other thing is, people will sponsor students. So I have parents who will send money in to say this goes toward a student. If people in the community want to sponsor a child, we do have that happen.
Well, that's great to know.
Yes, it's wonderful.
I know this happens every year, but I think just to put it out again, just so people know that.
I usually have between probably 6 and 10 that we give scholarships for.
On your agenda next week will, of course, be a resolution to approve 6th grade camp programs and dates as listed and everything that John talked about. Okay, and then a lot more approvals. So we will be, most of these will be agenda items. Approve Achieving True Self-Professional Services Agreement for the 23-24 school year. Approve Angels of Care Pediatric Home Health Service Agreement for the 23-24 school year. Approve Affiliation Agreement between Point Park University and Greater Latrobe School District for student, teachers, and field experience students. Approve Affiliation Agreement between the University of Phoenix and Greater Latrobe School District for student, teachers, field experience students. Approve Pennsylvania Youth Survey distribution for the 23-24 school year. Approve overnight and out-of-state field trips. They're all listed there. The marching band, the Chamber Choir, National Honor Society, forensic team, Spanish International World Language, French students, varsity baseball team, and the varsity basketball team, and the men's volleyball team. Those will all be agenda items. The curriculum committee minutes from the meeting we held on September 19th are attached and for your perusal. All that will be on your agenda for next week.
Thank you. Finance, Mr. Repko.
Next week, we'll be asking you to approve the treasurer's report as attached, payment of bills as attached, gifts, grants, and donations as listed, approve the services for our Toshiba Business Solutions, that's our copiers, approve professional service engagement for facilities master plan, finance committee meetings are attached. Next finance committee will be Tuesday, November 14th at the library, 5:30.
Thank you, Mr. Repko. And I have facilities operations and planning and Dr. Watkins' name here.
It was best that I come up with. Thank you, Dr. Loughlin.
Yes. We'll approve professional services and engagement for the facilities master plan, approve dynamic VAV optimization service agreements, and then there's the facilities operations plan committee meeting notes and attachment from the September 7th meeting. Looks like they're rescheduling from the Thursday, October 5th to Thursday, October 12th at 3 p.m. in the admin building.
Thank you, Doctor. Student activities and recreation, Mrs. Mays.
Next week, we will be approving Greater Latrobe Girls Wrestling Club, grade 7 through 12, for the 23-24 school year. That will be an agenda item. You want me to keep that one?
Yeah, but I just had a question. How many kids are going to be involved with that?
So far, right now, 9 through 12, we have about 15 girls signed up.
15.
Yes. I got a call from Kiski's athletic director today asking how many we have, because he's always got the WPI on board for wrestling, and he talked about how many other school districts programs are growing now, and what kind of numbers they have, and we're very comparable with them.
How many other schools in our area are doing this act? You know, offhand, with that conversation today?
A lot.
Yeah.
And there were actually clubs before it became a PIAA sanctioned sport through the schools too, that sponsored girls wrestling. But now since last year, PIAA, approved it to be a sanctioned sport. They're popping up left and right faster than any other sports program I've ever seen.
Yeah, if you remember when I talked to the board about this, I said it's one of the fastest growing sports programs in the nation. And how many kids, so would you say 15?
15.
Again, that's 15 more kids that are involved in our school. As a point of reference, when we first started bowling, how many kids were involved?
Let's see, boys and girls play about 10 apiece.
And what are we at now? Come on, ballpark.
About 35, 40.
That's what I mean, it's going to grow. And it's going to be another opportunity for our students to represent their school, which I think is awesome.
Now, who's going to be in charge of this?
So right now, one of our day-to-day subs, Rich Ludwig, who's a longtime wrestling coach from there, correct?
Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. So, he's the one that came up with having the idea. We have one of our 9th grade art teachers, Rachel Fry, she's helping out as well. And there's a few other just community members that have actually reached out to Rich, saying that they'd like to lend a hand. So
Is there a cost to the students for this? You just show us.
starting out as a club, there may be, as far as fundraising and things go, that's just how all the programs athletically start out as clubs from year to year to year with reimbursements back from the school. But eventually, if everything goes as planned, which is starting out that way, it will be a fully funded school sport.
Okay. And how, just for my reference, how many years does that usually run?
But Dan, we usually do 7. And I think if we get to 5 and we see that they maintain themselves and are in good standing, we might be able to
So
expedite.
that's typical for every time.
And then they, if I'm correct, Zach, they have to notify you that they want to become a recognized sport, am I right?
And how often will they meet?
They're already meeting 2 days a week.
2 days a week?
Basically, they have 2.5-hour practices. The first half an hour, 45 minutes is in the classroom, watching film and learning technique. And then the other half is actually in the actual drilling.
And I just want to say this about Mr. Ludwig, Coach Ludwig. He retired, he was a longtime educator at Dairy area. Obviously, I joked about him, but he was just inducted into their Hall of Fame as a wrestling coach at Dairy. He retired, and I had a meeting, I happened to see him one time, and he was looking for something to do. And I said to Mr. Ludwig, we need subs. You can come as sub as much as you want. I don't know how many years it's been now, John, that he has been a sub in our building.
Probably pushing 10 now.
But he is as much of a part of our senior high school staff as any full-time staff member that we have. It's the impact that he has made on our kids it's unbelievable, and our staff members, for that matter. Having him around is a blessing for our school district, and he has pushed the girls wrestling thing for probably a year and a half now, that this has become his passion, and I'm happy that our kids will have an experience with Coach Ludwig. He was my 9th grade football coach, and I loved him to death. But honestly, I don't want to undersell, and I don't want it to go unnoticed how much he truly means to our kids at the high school and our high school staff. And again, he doesn't have to do it. He's here because he wants to be. And I appreciate that he's taking this on.
Thank you. Want to keep going, Mrs. Mays? You got the next 2, I think.
Greater Latrobe Parks and Recreation meeting minutes from the meeting held on August 17th are attached. And the next Greater Latrobe Parks and Recreation Commission meeting will be held Thursday, October 19th, 4:30 p.m. in the Latrobe Municipal Building. The WIU summary and executive report of the WIU board meeting minutes from
Mrs. Mays.
Thank you.
EWCTC Joint Operating Committee with Dr. Lockman.
The EWCTC committee meeting notes from the September 27th meeting are attached, and then the next meeting is Wednesday, October 25th at EWCTC.
Thank you. And they give me transportation, which is nothing.
You're welcome.
Very good. Board policy, we will have final adoption and approval of board policies listed below. There's a home education program, extracurricular participation by home education students. There's policy for participation in co-curricular activities for home ed students. Record management, security of computerized personnel information, and data governance. Technology, there is the next committee meeting on Tuesday, October 17th at 5:30 at the CSC. And superintendent's recommendations, Mr. Duncan.
Next week, I'll ask the board to move on resignations as listed. B. Smolik, food service, that's for the purposes of retirement. And Jordan Zengus is a resignation for personal reasons. There's one substitute teacher listed now. I'm sure we may have more next week. I'll ask you to approve support personnel appointments. David Platt is listed on your agenda tonight. We received an email from him today. He will be removed next week. He's decided to not accept the position. We'll ask you to approve support personnel supplemental. That's just a change. It's a salary correction. Abby Conrad has an additional team, so I think it increases her salary by $100, right, for the additional team. Also, we'll approve school clubs, officers, advisors, and their salaries for the 23-24 school year. In other business, the drama club is presenting Father of the Bride on October 20th and 21st. If board members would like tickets, please see Mrs. Brahosky. We do have an Act 80 Day this Friday, no school for students. The end of the first quarter, which blows my mind, is here at the end of the month. I had some seniors the other day. I was taking them to Mountain View, and they were in my truck, and I said to them, do you realize you are almost 1 quarter through your senior year? And just like it blew my mind, it blew theirs as well. I think they want to rewind time now. End of the first trimester for grades K through 8 is the 21st of November. We have a 2-hour late start on the 31st to deal with grading from the end of the first quarter. Parent-teacher conferences are coming up on the 9th. We have Veterans Day off, the Act 80 Day on the 13th. Again, it's another teacher in service day, along with parent-teacher conferences the same day. An early dismissal before Thanksgiving. I can't believe we're even talking about Thanksgiving. But the break is listed there as well. Thursday, the 23rd through Monday, the 27th, and a 2-hour late start on the 28th, again, to deal with the first trimester grading. Our next meeting will be next Tuesday here in the CSC. And just a reminder that we only have one meeting in November due to the election. We'll combine both meetings on November the 14th. Dr. George, that concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to thank everyone for coming tonight. Meeting is adjourned.